I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, the weekly comic book show where we take closer, in-depth looks at the coolest and most happening comic book storylines going on today. And on this episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Astonishing Ant-Man issue number 5. Scott Lang is on his way to San Francisco to help train the new Giant Man. Let's hop on into this issue and see what happens next, shall we?
So as the comic opens, Scott Lang is having a minor disagreement with his cellmates in prison. Who am I kidding? They're hosting a freaking boot party on his head. Flashback a bit, and Scott isn't doing much better either. He's getting absolutely reamed out by Janet the Wasp after she discovered that he gave away the Giant Man costume. Scott tries to explain himself, saying Raz, the IT guy, who you will remember from the annual wherein Scott, Hank, and this guy defeated an old school villain called Egghead, earned the suit. He showed a hero's heart and character, and I mean at the absolute least he couldn't possibly do any worse than Scott did when he started. Sadly, the new Giant Man isn't exactly winning the people's hearts and minds over in San Francisco right now. He tried to stop a robber from getting away with $500,000 and ended up doing about $5 million to the Golden Gate Bridge. Frisco, as it would seem, is a happening place these days, as it's also where the power broker hopes to unveil Hench 2.0. This isn't just about money anymore, it's also about getting revenge on Augustine Cross for stealing his ID and coming out with the much inferior lackey. In a very funny scene to show he's serious, he vaporizes a bunch of coders, going, it's San Francisco, there's always gonna be more coders. Scott decides to take the new Giant Man under his wing and teach him everything that he learned in all of his time as an Avenger, which admittedly isn't much. In fact, by the end, Scott pretty much just devolves into lying to Raz about things he never accomplished, saying, I'm gonna tell you what Stick told me. Not only does Scott not know Stick, they've probably never been in the same room together. If nothing else, Scott proves to be a creative teacher, recreating all of San Francisco in Lego form so Raz can learn his powers and strengths without actually endangering anybody. Training gets put on hold, however, as the two heroes want to crash the Hench unveiling. Unfortunately, they run up against their most terrifying enemy yet. No, I don't mean the new female version of Backlash, I mean the front door bouncer. Dun dun dun. Power Broker claims that Hench 2.0 will be a revolution in villainous hiring that offers more customization and more integration than any other app before it. But wait, there's more. If you sign up right now for the small price of $9.99, not only will you get the K-Tel record collection and the Ginsu knives, but you will also be allowed access to Hench X. What's Hench X, you might be asking yourself? Well, as the Power Broker sells it, it's the next big step in costume villainy. Instead of hiring a villain through the app, this will allow you to become a supervillain yourself. Ant-Man's not worried about this at all. The way he puts it, what sort of person in their right mind would ever want to actively become a costumed villain? Well, maybe a jilted daughter as the comic ends? Astonishing Ant-Man number 5 was another fast, frenetic, and funny comic issue. It's also a nice little focus piece on the fact that no matter who Scott Lang seems to be working with, he always manages to dig himself deeper and deeper. And yet, despite that, he is oddly a good judge of character. He likes this Raz guy, and he thinks that he can actually become a better superhero than he ever was. I think the whole Cassie as a supervillain thing is definitely going to be a fake-up, but I do like the idea of her possibly getting her powers back as an end result of the Hench X app. Maybe get a little father-daughter superhero action coming down the pipeline. I think we would all enjoy that. At the end of the day, however, I would give this book an 8 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll feel like checking out some more videos I have on offer here at Cape Joel.